All right. Good evening, everyone. I hope you are able to hear me. Yes. Good evening, all. Arey, Siddharth, Sushma, I had posted the message in the chat actually. We'll start the class late. But maybe you guys joined thoda late. I had posted at 5:25. I have posted. I have posted at 5:28. I have posted 5:28. You guys joined after that. You didn't get because you guys joined after that. I'll tell you who all should have got it. Monisha should have got it. Advait, Chaitra R, Basavraj. These people should have got it. Right? So it's not like that. Okay? And now why late? Today was no physics class. I don't know. Why late? Simple reason my mouse pad was not working. So I was not able to select anything. That's why. Chalo. Let's start. Without much delay. Voice is not audible, kya? It's audible, man. It should be audible, Kishore. Check again. कुछ नहीं वो टीका है प्रीतेश there was no physics class today kya today you guys didn't have physics class no there was no physics class got it even though I am okay got it let's begin the class right your math syllabus got over today I got to know today your probability is finished today है ना what about lpp is also over lpp is also over but lpp comes after probability no if I remember correct chalo anyways LPP is the easiest chapter you'll ever get. LPP is the easiest chapter you'll ever get. Chalo, let's begin. All right, so we'll begin with a recall test on yesterday's class. So which of the following does not take place during leaching for concentration of bauxite? For concentration of bauxite, which of the following does not take place? So I'll give you a poll for this. Yes, Basavraj. Just 1 minute. Right. So we'll do that, Ripitesh. Let's finish this first. Right. So let's end it on a count of 3. Then I think it's enough time for this. It does not require that much time. इतने टाइम में तो तुम लोग नोटबुक टेक्स्ट बुक कहीं से भी खोल के चेक कर लोगे राइट चलो लेट्स एंड इट ऑन अ काउंट ऑफ 3 2 1 So we end it here. So good. Many of you have answered it. I'm surprised. How come so many people have answered it? Right. So all of us know which reaction don't take place. Obviously, this reaction takes place in the final step. Right. This reaction takes place. This reaction takes place to convert your sodium aluminate soluble form to aluminate.xh2o, and this is the first step to dissolve NaOH. Right. This step does not take place. You get XH2O, not 2H2O. So therefore, this is wrong. This is your first step of leaching, second step, third step. These are the three steps involved in leaching. Okay? Right. So let's move ahead. So what we are learning today, we are going to learn the second method of extraction, that is conversion of ore to metal oxide. So there are two methods, as I told you. Poll results, people, first of all, the very few of you have answered. In that also, majority were confused between B and C. So poll results are extremely bad. Like your general results, like your empty result, poll results are very bad. Chalo. So let's begin with, step 2, conversion of ore. Now you have got ore. Ore ka concentration you have done, you have removed impurities. Second step is to convert your ore into oxide. Let's say any ore, you have to convert it to its oxide. So conversion of ore to metal oxide is the second step, right? The process can be carried out by calcination and roasting. What are calcination and roasting? We'll take them separately and quickly. What is calcination? अब यहां से लेकर एलिंगम डायग्राम तक तुम्हें क्वेश्चन खाली एलिंगम डायग्राम में मिलेंगे और कहीं नहीं मिलेंगे. पूरा ये थ्योरेटिकल टॉपिक है. So what is calcination? Strong heating of ore in the absence of oxygen or limited supply of oxygen is known as calcination. That means when you heat ore without oxygen or in less supply of oxygen, that process is known as calcination. Example, when you heat zinc carbonate, CO2 is eliminated, and what is left behind? Zinc oxide is left behind. Correct? Zinc oxide plus CO2 you'll get. Now, if you see this, what are the changes which takes place during calcination? Ore become porous and volatile impurities are removed. Volatile impurities like sulfur will be removed as sulfur dioxide. Water vapors will be removed, right? All the volatile impurities which can form vapors will be removed in this process, right? And ore will become porous. Water of crystallization is hydrated, ore is removed as vapors forming anhydrous oxide. For example, you take alumina, right? Al2O3.XH2O. If you heat it, all the water vapors will be removed. So water of crystallization is removed as water vapors in this process, right? Carbonated ores liberate CO2 and are converted into its oxide. All the carbonated ores are converted into its oxide by releasing CO2. And when CO2 gas comes out, it makes the surface of the ore fluffy. When the CO2 comes out of the surface becomes fluffy, like baking process, just like that. Okay? Similarly, magnesium carbonate, calcium carbonate, right? Magnesium carbonate, calcium carbonate, when you heat them, magnesium carbonate will convert into magnesium oxide, calcium carbonate will convert into calcium oxide. CO2 here, both places CO2 is eliminated and you'll get 2 moles of CO2. Okay? Now this is which ore, guys? Anyone who can remember which ore is this? Copper hydroxide dot copper carbonate. Very good, Pritesh. Narek, good. अरे रवि किरण क्या बोल दिया. वेरी गुड अथर. दिस इज नोन एज मेलाचाइट ओर. तो जो लोग पढ़ के आए हैं ना ओर के बारे में, उन लोगों को तुरंत पता लग गया. दिस इज योर मेलाचाइट ओर. कॉपर पाइराइट इज कॉपर सल्फाइड एंड आयरन सल्फाइड. ठीक है, दिस इज योर मेलाचाइट ओर. ठीक है. So when you take this, right, So what will happen? All copper carbonate say you'll get copper oxide and the CO2 will be eliminated, right? And from hydroxide, water will be eliminated. Okay? So hydroxide, yes, hydroxide will lose water and carbonate will lose carbon dioxide. And both of them will be converted to their copper oxides. So all metal ores will be converted to their oxides. Now, which is this ore? Guys, do you remember which ore is this? This was there in class 10th also. Which ore is this? Magnesium carbonate dot calcium carbonate. I got your answer, Pritesh. Others? Anybody remember? Yes, very good. अरे it is not magnesite. मैग्नीन नहीं है वो. Dolomite. How I used to remember this word called dolomite was, I don't know. Hindi में एक phrase है, like there is a phrase in Hindi called हिलना डुलना. हिलना डुलना, you understand? हाँ, डोलो टैबलेट भी कह सकते हो, डोलो 650. हिलना डुलना. हिलना डुलना मतलब मेकिंग मूव्स. ठीक है? तो if somebody is making unnecessary moves in the class in our area, or you can say our area तो नहीं बोलना चाहिए, in Delhi NCR zone you can say, people say because there is a Haryanvi accent, so people say generally डोलो मत. मतलब डोलो मतलब घूमना. डोलो मत, बैठ के काम कर लो. ठीक है? Don't roam here and there. तो that डोलो मत में से if you remove a and put I, dolomite. So that is how I used to remember this. This is in 10th standard how I used to remember this. So since my 10th standard, I never forgot dolomite. I never forgot bauxite. Bauxite I used to remember by the name of Buxar. ठीक है? Bauxite I used to remember by the name of Buxar. Formula तो you can't help रे. Formula तो बस you remember कि डोलोमाइट ओर में मैग्नीशियम और कैल्शियम दोनों कार्बोनेट फॉर्म में है. बस इतना याद रखो. डोलोमाइट ओर में मैग्नीशियम और कैल्शियम कार्बोनेट फॉर्म में. दैट इज हाउ यू रिमेंबर. ऑब्वियसली जब ऑप्शंस आएंगे तो तुम्हें फॉर्मूला गलत नहीं देंगे. दे विल नॉट गिव यू CO CO3 होल ट्वाइस. दैट मच यू कैन ट्रस्ट देम, राइट? Buxar, you guys don't know? Battle of Buxar, famous Battle of Buxar. You haven't heard? Buxar is very famous. By the way, you know Buxar where it is? 10th में था कुछ नहीं. Buxar where it is located? Athar at least knows that. Buxar is located in Bihar. You should know that. It's located in Bihar. ठीक है? So during those time, like 17th century, 18th century, majority of this, what do we say? Economically rich areas were West Bengal, Bihar, UP, Delhi. These belt was very economically rich. ठीक है? That's why Britishers was widely spread in these areas, and Marathas also. Right. So now next, let's come back to the topic. Carbonate ores, oxide ores, hydroxide ores can undergo calcination. So which type of ores can undergo calcination? Carbonate, oxides and hydroxides. ठीक है? They can undergo calcination. ठीक है? Actually oxide मतलब hydrated oxide, like alumina, hydrated oxide. ठीक है? As carbon dioxide increases, it makes the surface porous, hence increasing the surface area of the metal. I have already explained you this. When the CO2 comes out of the surface, it makes the surface porous, fluffy, due to which the surface area will increase. Right. Any doubt in calcination? Quickly post on the chat. We are moving to roasting. We are moving towards roasting. If there is any doubt, quickly post. Like sponge, you can say. Like sponge or हाँ, they're like छेना कहते हैं हिंदी में, तो same. So roasting. What is roasting? Heating of an ore in the presence of oxygen. Very basic difference between calcination and roasting is when you heat ore in the absence of oxygen to convert your ore into oxide, it is known as calcination. when you heat ore in the presence of oxygen to convert your ore into oxide is known as roasting. ठीक है? In the presence of oxygen is roasting. Remember, it should be below its melting point. Above its melting point, it's not called roasting. It's called decomposition. So if you heat an ore above its melting point, it will be decomposed, right? It will be degraded. So below its melting point is very important. It is commonly used for sulfide ores. It is commonly used for sulfide ores. Okay. During roasting, volatile compounds are removed. All the volatile compound like sulfur is removed as sulfur dioxide. All other impurities, carbon will be removed as carbon dioxide. So all the volatile impurities are removed during roasting, just like calcination. Now, the balance equation is almost constant in all the reactions. Metal sulfides combines with oxygen to form metal oxide and sulfur dioxide. ठीक है? Metal sulfides will combine with oxygen. So sulfur combines with oxygen to form sulfur dioxide. Metal combines with oxygen to form metal oxide. Right? Right. Now, in this, if you do the balancing part is very common. See here. 2, 3, 2, 2. 23, 22. 22, 23. This is how you should remember. Balancing is also very easy. There is no need to by heart. 23, 22. Now you can take the zinc sulfide ka example. Zinc sulfide ka roasting, if you do, you will get zinc oxide plus sulfur dioxide. Okay? What happens to sulfur dioxide form? Matlab, it will also release from the surface, making the surface fluffy. Same process as CO2. Now, roasting is of two types. This is something which you are not heard of. Roasting is of two types. One is called oxidative roasting. Other is called chlorinative roasting. The oxidating isn't SO2 harmful. SO2 is not that harmful for you. Okay? SO2 in high amounts are harmful to you. Right? SO2 is not that harmful to you. SO2 से ज़्यादा तो में methane harmful है. तो SO2 is not that harmful. It is harmful in high amounts. ठीक है? हाँ, एसिड रेन तो अगर मान लो SO2 तुम्हारी बॉडी में गया, राइट? SO2 तुम्हारी बॉडी में इनहेल हुआ, तुम्हारी बॉडी में वाटर के साथ कंबाइन हो गया, तो सल्फ्यूरिक एसिड बना देगा, तो तुम्हारी बॉडी जल जाएगी. ऐसा है? नहीं, ऐसा नहीं होगा, राइट? ऐसा नहीं होगा. क्यों? क्योंकि पहली बात तो तुम्हारा जो SO2 बॉडी में जा रहा है वो उतना ज्यादा मात्रा में नहीं जा रहा है. इट्स नॉट गोइंग इन ह्यूज अमाउंट, राइट? एंड अगर तुम्हारी बॉडी में H2SO4 भी हो जाता है तो उससे डिहाइड्रेशन होगा, बॉडी नहीं जलेगी, योर बॉडी विल स्टार्ट लूजिंग वाटर इजीली. ठीक है? तो और जो H2SO4 बनेगा वो बहुत डाइल्यूट होगा, राइट? एंड तुम्हारी बॉडी का पीएच ऐसा नहीं है कि हाँ हर जगह तुम्हारा बेसिक पीएच है. बॉडी इज ऑलरेडी एडजस्टेड टू अ लो पीएच. ठीक है? तो तुम्हारी बॉडी का जो ब्लड का पीएच है वो 7.4 क्लोज टू है, राइट? इफ इट बिकम्स 7.2 7.3 योर बॉडी हैज अ बफर. तो बफर है, वापस से उसको रीसेटल कर देगा. ठीक है? तो इट्स नॉट अ प्रॉब्लम हियर. तो थोड़े से अमाउंट में इट विल नॉट क्रिएट अ प्रॉब्लम. अरे हाँ भाई, दोनों बन सकते हैं. ऑक्सीडाइज भी तो हो सकता है ना SO2 तुम्हारा. Now what is the difference between these two? In this sulfide ore, in this oxidative roasting, sulfide ores are converted to their oxide. So whatever you are doing here comes under oxidative roasting. It comes under oxidative roasting, right? अरे नहीं प्रणव, कहाँ से bond dissolve करेगा? उसका concentration बहुत कम होगा. It will not be that high in concentration. For example, one more important reaction is, if you take this ore, what is this ore? CuFeS2. What is this ore known as? CuFeS2. What is this ore? Very good, Basavraj. Very good. This is your copper pyrite ore. It's your copper pyrite ore. तो जब copper pyrite ore CuFeS2, right? तो इसमें what will happen? First, when you do the heat it in the presence of oxygen, Cu will combine with one sulfur to form CuS. Fe will combine with one sulfur to form FeS. तो मतलब copper iron sulfide combined sulfide will dissociate into copper sulfide and iron sulfide. Now that sulfide will be roasted separately. So copper sulfide will give you copper oxide plus CO2. Iron sulfide will give you iron oxide plus CO2. ठीक है? So the reaction is very, very important. ठीक है. Now if you see this carefully, copper sulfide is converted to copper oxide plus SO2, iron sulfide is converted to iron oxide plus SO2. There will be 2 moles of SO2. ठीक है. Now if you see the chlorinating roasting, what is chlorinating roasting? My voice is not audible, is it? I think it is audible. Yeah. So what is chlorinating roasting? There are some metals whose ores are difficult to be converted to oxides because their oxides may not be stable. So those metals whose oxides are not stable, their ore cannot be converted to oxides. So for them, we convert their ores into chlorides. And that type of roasting is known as chlorinating roasting. So some metals which is difficult to be converted into metal oxide, in those cases, metal is converted into metal chloride. Okay? Example, if you take silver, titanium are the examples. Silver and titanium are the examples, right? So if you take silver sulfide, if you do the roasting, the silver oxide form is highly unstable, right? It will not be stable. It will immediately dissociate, right? It will immediately dissociate. So therefore, your silver sulfide is reacted with NaCl to form AgCl. Now this AgCl will be electrolyzed and converted into Ag. Okay? So for those metals whose oxides are not stable, they are converted into their chlorides, not oxides. Take an example is silver. Right. Now when roasting is made at low or moderate temperature, one part of ore is converted into oxide, whereas other part of ore is converted into sulfate. This is very, very important. You may not find it in books, so please note carefully. So when you carry out the roasting at low temperature, some part of the ore is converted into its oxide, whereas some part of the ore may also get converted into its sulfate. That means SO2 can get oxidized. Because you are taking low temperature, that means reaction is slow. Reaction is slow, matlab SO2 is getting enough time to interact with air. So in aerial oxidation, SO2 may get converted into sulfate. Okay? So lead sulfide, if you do the roasting, you'll get lead oxide. But some part of this lead sulfide on oxidation with roasting, sulfur can be converted into sulfate, oxidized to sulfate, right? -2 to +6. So sulfur in -2 can be oxidized to sulfur in +6 oxidation state. How this happens? Using air or O2 as oxidizing agent. So once the sulfur gets converted into SO4 2-, it will combine with lead 2+ to form lead sulfate. Okay? Is that clear? So sometimes lead sulfate can also be formed during roasting, or sulfates can also be formed during roasting. At high temperature, only lead oxide will be formed because your lead sulfate will not be stable at high temperature. It will dissociate. Okay? Yes. Any doubt in roasting or calcination? Anyone? Any doubts in roasting or calcination? We are done with step 2 of metal extraction. Metallurgy ka step 2 is over. Step 2 for metallurgy is over. Anyone having any doubt in this, please quickly ask. Done. No doubt. Very good. Now, what is the third step? Does anybody remember? What is the third step? Very good. मतलब कमी नहीं है लोगों की. एक महान ढूंढो 100 महान मिलते हैं. Third step is not refining. You have got ore converted to metal oxide. You can't refine metal oxide. You want metal. So metal oxide will be converted to metal. You have to convert your metal oxide to metal now. Once you get metal, then you can do refining. क्या विजेता? कुछ भी है? चलो. The third step is, this is the important part. here is where we have to study Ellingham diagram. Conversion of metal oxide to metal. That means the oxide ore which you have formed now will be converted to its metal and oxygen will be released. So there are a lot of processes available for this, right? There are a lot of processes available for that. Smelting, hydrometallurgy, the thermite welding, there are a lot of processes. So first one is smelting. In short, when you want to convert metal oxide to metal, and if you use carbon as reducing agent, then it is called as smelting. If your reducing agent is carbon, then it is smelting, in simple words, right? Extraction of metal fused state using carbon as reducing agent from its metal oxide is known as smelting. That means from a metal oxide getting a metal in its fused state, right? From a metal oxide getting a metal using carbon as reducing agent. So carbon will combine to give you CO2 and metal will be obtained. For example, zinc oxide may carbon is a reducing agent. So carbon will take oxygen to form CO and zinc oxide will be reduced to zinc. Is that clear? Yes, this is your smelting. Now, while you do smelting, there are a lot of impurities. Okay? So, and remember, you are removing metal in which state? Fused or molten state. The metal obtained will be in fused or molten state. So now, when you take metal in fused or molten state, there will be a lot of still impurities. Okay? So all those impurities are removed by adding a chemical component called flux. Right? All the impurities in metal oxides are removed by adding a component called flux. Now, what is flux? Flux are those chemical compounds which are added to the ore or metal oxide to convert infusible impurities into fusible mass. Matlab, if you add them to oxides, all those impurities which are infusible, which cannot melt, will be converted into the form where they are fusible. Matlab, they can be melted. So all impurities which cannot be melted will be converted into a form where they can be melted, right? By adding a compound called flux. Okay? Now let us see the role of flux, right? If you take, let's say your impurities are SiO2, right? For example, iron ore में silicon oxide impurities are present. So if silicon oxide is your impurities, iron oxide is the flux you add. Iron oxide is a flux you add. Now, when you add iron oxide flux to SiO2, FeO will combine with SiO2 to convert it into FeSiO3. Right? This is known as slag. To convert it into FeSiO3, that is known as slag. Okay? So all the impurities which are infusible, these were infusible, they are converted into slag which are fusible by adding a compound called flux. Now when you will do the smelting, metal will be present in the molten state at a different temperature and impurities will be present in molten state at a different temperature, so they can be removed easily. Okay? Matlab, you can say the metal will melt, impurities will melt later, so you can easily remove the impurities. Okay? So all the impurities will be removed as slag by adding flux. Okay? Is that clear? You can even add calcium oxide to SiO2, right? You can even add calcium oxide to SiO2 as a flux, calcium oxide as a flux to SiO2, and then it will be removed as calcium silicate, CaSiO3. Now, infusible impurities are again converted into fusible mass. Silicates are fusible. Okay? So now SiO2 is your acidic flux. Silicon is considered as non-metal, so its oxide will be non-metallic. So non-metal form acidic compounds. So therefore, silicon oxide will be acidic flux. Acidic, you can say, if you're, see, in this case, if your impurities are calcium oxide, then SiO2 can also act as a flux. Matlab, SiO2 can be an impurity also, SiO2 can be a flux also, depending upon your impurity. If your impurity is calcium oxide, so your impurities are basic. Okay? But if you add SiO2 to remove calcium oxide impurities, then metal oxides are basic, so impurities are basic. You have added SiO2. SiO2 is a non-metal oxide. Since non-metal form acidic compounds, therefore this SiO2 will act as acidic flux. And it will remove your calcium oxide basic impurities as slag, CaSiO3. CaSiO3. That's what I said. A flux can be of both type, acidic flux or basic flux. Okay? For example, when impurity was SiO2, to remove SiO2 impurities, you added calcium oxide as flux. Okay? And when calcium oxide is present as impurity, you add SiO2 to remove calcium oxide impurities as calcium silicate. In that case, SiO2 act as acidic flux. Okay? So depending upon what kind of impurities you have, if you have calcium oxide as impurity, you will add SiO2, then it will act as acidic flux. If you have SiO2 only as impurities, you will add calcium oxide, which will behave as basic flux. So flux can be of two types, acidic or basic. Okay? Yeah. Anyone having any doubt in this, please quickly ask. Anyone having any doubt in this, please quickly ask. When to use FeO? FeO you can use, it is also metal oxide. So with SiO2, you can use FeO also. Instead of calcium, you can use FeO also. Instead of calcium oxide, you can use FeO also. It's a metal oxide, so it will act as a basic flux. It's a metal oxide, so it will always act as a basic flux. Right. So let's move ahead. I don't see any doubt. Yes. What are the properties of slag? You remove impurities by adding flux in the form of slag. Okay. Can amphoteric oxides be used? I don't think so. Generally, we ignore amphoteric oxide because they cannot remove any of the acidic or basic impurities. If you want to remove acidic or basic impurities, you need to add the reverse compound. For acidic impurities, you have to add basic flux. For basic impurities, you have to add acidic flux. But amphoteric can't remove anything. Okay? Or maybe you can use also, like in certain conditions where your impurities are not too acidic, not too basic. In that cases, you can use. Flux is added to remove gangue. See, all the impurities are not gangue, Chandan. Only those impurities which can be washed away, right? Not non-chemical impurities are your gangue or matrix, like dust and all. But the chemical impurities are not called gangue. Okay? Fusible. So what is the properties of slag? I told you impurities are non-fusible, infusible. You convert them into slag, which are fusible. Okay? They can be melted. Okay? They are lighter than metal, so obviously they'll float, right, on the surface of metal. They are insoluble with water. They will not be soluble in metal, even in molten form. They float on the surface of metal, therefore protects metal from aerial oxidation. Very important. Metal with slag will not undergo oxidation easily because the surface of the metal is protected by slag. Okay? The next reduction process is thermite process or thermite welding. जो आप लोग welding देखते हो ना, if you must have seen welding in your house also, construction also, you'll see welding. So thermite welding is this process only. So in this, everything same. Instead of carbon, you use aluminium as reducing agent. That's the only difference. Aluminium is used as reducing agent. In this process, aluminium is used as reducing agent, and it is used for highly electropositive metal, right? It is used for, because of its highly electropositive nature, you use aluminium, and this method will also be used for those metals which are highly electropositive, like chromium, oxides of iron and chromium. ठीक है, these metals के लिए you'll use. 10th से पढ़ते आ रहे हैं. अच्छा. Now iron oxide, if you treat it with aluminium will combine with oxide to form Al2O3, and iron will be released as pure iron. Okay? So for iron you can use thermite welding. That means you can use aluminium as the reducing agent. Right? Anyone having any doubt in this, please quickly ask. That spark is the combustion spark. It's not due to any of these chemical. ठीक है? Generally क्या होता है, while welding you react iron oxide. Metal के surface पे generally क्या होता है? When you take iron, you are doing the welding of iron, right? You are doing the welding of iron. So when you are doing the welding of iron, it has oxide on its surface. ठीक है? तो aluminium rod क्या करते हैं? They go and aluminium rods go, and while combustion due to electric spark in the presence of oxygen, combustion of aluminium will take place. So all the oxygen from the metal surface will be taken by aluminium to form aluminium oxide, and the metal will lose, iron oxide will lose, metal surface of iron will be oxidized, rusted. It will remove oxygen, and when it removes oxygen, it is at higher temperature. At that higher temperature, the iron will melt. Okay? So in that molten state of iron, this aluminium oxide will go and fix. मान लो ऐसा था, ये दो पार्ट ज्वाइन करने थे, right? You started heating them. So when you started heating them, what will happen? It will lose oxide. So aluminium will undergo combustion. Aluminium rod which you are using will undergo combustion and settle between these two gap in the form of aluminium oxide. So these two are joined together by aluminium oxide. Okay? So this is combustion of aluminium which creates the spark. बस और आज. ठीक है? Now you can also use water gas reactions. Water gas, all of you know, CO plus H2 is known as water gas. CO plus H2 is known as water gas. Okay? It can also be used as a reducing agent. For example, nickel oxide, if you use water gas as a reducing agent, this oxygen of nickel will be taken by CO to form CO2. And if you remove this oxygen, you'll get nickel. The nickel which you'll get here will be impure nickel, which will be further purified. Last but very important, auto reduction. Very, very important, auto reduction. कई बार क्वेश्चन आ चुका है auto reduction पे. Some of the metals are directly reduced to metals. ठीक है? Some of the metal ores are directly reduced to metal. तो देखो क्या होता है. Examples are ores of lead, copper, mercury, etc. Copper sulfide, let's say ore you are using, right? You carried out the roasting of copper sulfide to convert into copper oxide. So some of the copper sulfide was converted to oxide, but some copper sulfide remain as it is. So what happens in that case is, some of the copper sulfide was converted to copper oxide, some, whereas some other copper sulfide will remain as it is. Some copper sulfide will remain as it is. Now the remaining copper sulfide which is present can be converted to copper by using the copper oxide only. So this copper oxide which is formed can act as a reducing agent for converting the remaining copper sulfide to copper, right? So if you take this, 2 copper plus 2 copper, 6 copper, sulfur plus O will form SO2. तो मतलब इसमें copper oxide which is formed act as a reducing agent. So copper oxide which is formed during roasting, act as a reducing agent for converting the remaining copper sulfide to copper. Is that clear? तो हम ये मान के चल रहे हैं roasting 100% नहीं होगा. Some unreacted copper sulfide will be there. Yeah. Anyone having any doubt in any of these methods? Smelting, thermite welding, water gas, auto reduction. Anyone having any doubt in this? All right. So I hope it is clear. Right. So we are moving ahead to electrolytic reduction. I'm not going to explain you electrolytic reduction now. I will explain you when I discuss the extraction of aluminium separately. For now, I will only tell you electrolysis is used for the reduction of highly electropositive metals like aluminium, zinc, silver, sodium, copper, etc. ठीक है? So very highly electropositive metal के reduction के लिए you use electrolysis method for the reduction of ore, or you can say reduction of oxide to metal. So oxides of highly electropositive metals can be reduced to metals using electrolysis as process. ठीक है? How, when, we will discuss it in extraction of aluminium. ठीक है? Now hydrometallurgy, very important, especially JEE के लिए. It's very important. ठीक है? So what is hydrometallurgy? In this case, highly reactive metals displaces the less reactive metals. Substitution type. Highly reactive metal will replace the less reactive metals from their compounds. For example, silver sulfide combines with NaCN to form silver cyanide complex. You'll get a silver cyanide complex. Now you got this complex. So if you treat it with zinc, what will happen? Zinc will displace silver from its compound. Silver will be separated and zinc will replace silver to form zinc cyanide complex. Right? Kind of a displacement reaction. And you'll get silver back. The silver which you get here is impure, which you can further purify. So from silver sulfide, you have directly got silver. Okay? So in this, zinc is more reactive than silver. So therefore, zinc has replaced silver in its cyanide complex. Okay? It is coordination complex. Yes, -2. It's a coordination complex. Now, if you take excess of NaCN, then directly you'll get AgCN का precipitate. Therefore, NaCN is not taken in excess. Okay? So you'll directly get the precipitate of AgCN, which will not form soluble complex. So therefore, the cyanide concentration should be low. Okay? Is that clear, everyone? And this process is also known as cyanidation process. Sometimes you can do the same process for gold also. For gold also, you can do the same process. Why highly reactive metal displaces low reactive metal? Will we extract only highly reactive metal after electrolysis? Yes. This method is applied only for highly reactive metals. Pranav, it is applied only for highly reactive metals. Okay? Is it given in book? I don't think so. It is given in book. Just check once. Now we have done with your reduction of the third step is over. Third step is over. Now we are going towards thermodynamics of metallurgy. All of you know thermodynamics? Thermodynamics of metallurgy. So we are going towards thermodynamics of metallurgy. अरे बेटा आज दूसरा दिन है और तुम पूछ रहे हो सर अभी कितना चैप्टर बचा है, हैं? क्या चाहते हो? आते ही बोल दूं चलो ये चैप्टर खत्म हुआ, अगला चैप्टर कल करेंगे, यही चाहते हो क्या? So what is Ellingham diagram? Ellingham diagram is the graph which shows the variation of delta G, Gibbs free energy, versus temperature. So the graph of delta G versus T is known as Gibbs free energy. Correct? Now let us see how do we get this graph. So for which reaction we plot this graph? We plot this graph for combination of metal with oxygen to form its oxide. Why we use this reaction? Because इसके reverse reaction को अभी हम पढ़ के आए हैं, conversion of metal oxide to metal. So if you can get the delta G of this reaction, the reverse delta G will be easy. It will be negative basically. Okay? So why we use only this reaction? Because in the reverse reaction, we can convert your metal oxide to metal. Third step of extraction. Just now we have finished. So now, if you see the delta G ka graph, so देखो, it is something like this. Delta G is delta H minus T delta S. You know this equation, right? So if you are plotting this on x-axis, y-axis, temperature on x-axis, then your slope is minus delta S and intercept is C. So C is your intercept delta H, which depends upon the reaction, whether it is exothermic or endothermic. Now what is your slope? Slope is minus delta S. Okay, remember this. Now the reactions which you are plotting are the combination of metal with oxygen to give you metal oxide. Let us write. So for the reaction 2 metal plus oxygen gives you 2 metal oxide. Let's say gas, solid, and so metal oxide is also, let's say, solid. Right. Now my question is, in this reaction, entropy is increasing or decreasing? In this reaction, entropy is increasing or decreasing? What would you say? Entropy of the process is increasing or decreasing? Very good. Entropy in this process is decreasing. Why it is decreasing? Because a gas is converted to solid. So entropy decreases. Matlab delta S will be positive or negative? Final entropy minus initial entropy will be positive or negative? It will be negative quantity. Final value is smaller than initial value. So final minus initial will be negative. Now you got delta S is negative, right? Yes, you got delta S as negative. Delta S is negative. Now, what is your slope? Slope is minus of delta S. That means minus of minus. Slope is positive. So graph will have a positive slope, correct? Sloping upwards. So therefore, if you see a Lingam diagram, all these graphs are sloping upwards. All these graphs are sloping upwards. And they are following a graph of y is equals to mx plus c. That means delta G versus T. So when temperature is 0, delta G is equals to delta H. So they have some positive slope. They have some intercept value. So this is your intercept, which is delta H. So you can see here one more important thing. See, delta H is positive in all the cases. Intercept is positive, matlab delta H is positive in all the cases. Matlab these are the graph for which reaction? All these reactions are which reactions? All these reactions are endothermic reactions. From this, it is clear that all these reactions are which reactions? Endothermic reactions. All these reactions are endothermic reactions. Correct? Any doubts? तो ग्राफ तो समझ में आ गया कि डेल्टा जी वर्सेस टेम्परेचर ग्राफ फॉर द कॉम्बिनेशन और द फॉर्मेशन ऑफ ऑक्साइड्स ऑफ मेटल is known as Ellingham diagram. So what Ellingham diagram shows? It shows the variation of delta G with respect to T for which reaction? For oxidation of metals. ठीक है? Yes. And this graph, as you go up, what will happen if you increase temperature here? So can I write my slope delta S is minus X value? Delta S is minus X. To put that value here, you'll get delta G is equals to delta H minus T minus X. So that is delta H plus Tx. Correct? So delta G, delta H plus Tx. So what do we understand here? Since slope is positive now, as you increase temperature, what will happen to delta G? Delta G will also increase. As you increase temperature, delta G will also increase. That means if this is at minus 1000 joule, this will be at what? It is increasing in positive value. Matlab, this will be at minus 200 joule. So as you go up in the graph, delta G becomes from minus more negative to less negative, or towards positive value. Delta G increases towards positive value, right? So if it goes minus 1000 joule, as you go up, it will become less negative, and ultimately it will become positive. So as you are increasing the temperature, delta G is increasing. This is another thing you should understand. Now the most important part, why we need this diagram? Why we need this diagram? I think 2019 there was a question on this. ठीक है. Is there any graph from fourth quadrant to first quadrant? I didn't understand your point only. Fourth quadrant to first quadrant क्या होता है? Yeah, is this clear everyone? Any doubts? Anyone in this? Now I'm going to the application of this graph. What is the application of this graph? What is the application of this graph? This graph helps to identify. अरे रुक जा मेरे भाई अथर, रुक जा, थोड़ा वेट कर ले. आई एम नॉट सेइंग टेक्स्ट बुक गलत है, आई एम नॉट सेइंग टेक्स्ट बुक में ज्यादा दिया है, रुक जाओ. मेरे पास भी एक और एलिंगम डायग्राम है, दिखाऊं क्या? ये देखो, आई हैव वन मोर एलिंगम डायग्राम कार्बन वाला, बताऊंगा, थोड़ा वेट करो. छोड़ दूं वाला, ये छोड़ दूं, एप्लीकेशन छोड़ दूं, उस पे चलूं? Shall I teach the next elegant diagram? I'll leave the application then. हाँ, then तो this graph का application क्या है? Why you need this graph? ठीक है, तो graph says this graph helps you to identify which is a better reducing agent. This graph helps you to identify which is better reducing agent. Which is better reducing agent. तो कैसे identify करना है? तो I'm giving you a statement. अभी तो statement देख लो. I'll do the mathematics also for this. Graph lying lower act as better reducing agent. Graph lying lower act as better reducing agent. ठीक है, क्यों? देख बताता हूं, रीजन बताता हूं. तो इसका मतलब क्या है? If I take calcium and magnesium, so which is better reducing agent? Calcium is a better reducing agent than magnesium. मतलब magnesium oxide, if you treat it with calcium, so calcium can reduce magnesium oxide to magnesium. ठीक है, so the graph which is lying lower is a better reducing agent. So calcium is lying lower than magnesium, so calcium is a better reducing agent. मतलब calcium can reduce magnesium oxide to magnesium, but calcium oxide cannot be reduced by magnesium to calcium. This is wrong. Is that clear? This is wrong. Is that clear? This is very very important. तो इसको कैसे समझ सकते हो? डेल्टा जी से समझ सकते हो. कैसे? देखो, हम दोनों का रिएक्शन का एक डेल्टा जी वैल्यू ले लेते हैं. इसका डेल्टा जी मान लो -800 है, कैल्शियम वाले का मान लो -8000 है, राइट? तो लेट अस राइट बोथ द रिएक्शंस. 2 mg plus O2 gives you 2 MgO. इसका डेल्टा G1 is -800 जूल और किलो जूल whatever, and 2 calcium plus O2 gives you 2 calcium oxide. इसका डेल्टा G is what? -1000 जूल. ठीक है, I can do the following. या तो फर्स्ट इक्वेशन इसे ले लो, इसे सेकंड ले लो. either subtract second equation from first. ठीक है, so let us subtract second equation from first. What will happen? 1 minus 2 you are doing, so O2 minus O2 cancel, so 1 minus 2, so calcium will be negative here, so it will come here and become positive. So magnesium, 2 magnesium, right? So -2 calcium, so here -2 calcium, it will come here and become positive, so you'll get +2 calcium here, right? Magnesium oxide is positive here, let it remain positive. And the when you subtract second equation from first equation, calcium oxide will be negative here, bring it here to make it positive, +2 calcium oxide. Now delta G3 here will be what? Delta G1 minus delta G2, that means -800 minus of -1000, that means how much? +1000 minus 800, +1000 minus 800. So what you'll get? +1000 minus 800. What will you get? +200. तो क्या ये रिएक्शन स्पॉन्टेनियस है? Is this reaction spontaneous? No, it is non-spontaneous. It is non-spontaneous. But if you subtract first equation from second, right? If you subtract first equation from second, you will get, subtract this equation from this equation and write, what will you get? You will get 2 magnesium oxide plus calcium giving you, matlab reverse of this you will get 2 magnesium oxide plus calcium will be giving you 2 calcium oxide plus 2 magnesium. ठीक है, अब इसका डेल्टा जी if it is minus plus 200, the reverse reaction का डेल्टा जी will be what? Negative. इसका डेल्टा जी will be minus 200 जूल, 200 किलो जूल. मतलब ये रिएक्शन क्या हो गया? स्पॉन्टेनियस. तो इसीलिए ये रिएक्शन स्पॉन्टेनियस है. मतलब कैल्शियम कैन रिड्यूस मैग्नीशियम ऑक्साइड टू मैग्नीशियम, बट मैग्नीशियम कैन नॉट रिड्यूस कैल्शियम ऑक्साइड टू कैल्शियम. इज दैट क्लियर? तो ये मैथमेटिकली भी कर सकते हो, बट लॉजिकली याद रखो, फॉर सॉल्विंग क्वेश्चंस फास्ट, दैट ग्राफ लाइंग लोअर एक्ट एज अ बेटर रिड्यूसिंग एजेंट. जो भी ग्राफ नीचे होगा एलिंगम डायग्राम में, दैट विल बी अ बेटर रिड्यूसिंग एजेंट. इज दैट क्लियर एवरीवन? तो ये छोटा सा कॉन्सेप्ट है एलिंगम डायग्राम का. कार्बन का एलिंगम डायग्राम हम कल देखेंगे. तो वी विल डिस्कस द एलिंगम डायग्राम ऑफ कार्बन टुमारो, and we'll finish most likely this chapter tomorrow, maybe one more class, that's all. ठीक है, so that's all for today. We can log into your Kahoot. You can log into your Kahoot. Today's Kahoot is very easy actually. Today's Kahoot is very easy. So एलिंगम डायग्राम का यही कॉन्सेप्ट है. आई टोल्ड यू इस चैप्टर में एक ही अच्छा कॉन्सेप्ट है एलिंगम डायग्राम. इसके क्वेश्चंस हम लोग कल करेंगे. डोंट मिस टुमारो का क्लास, विल डू क्वेश्चंस ऑन दिस. गेम पिन इज 5497788. 5497788 is your game pin. 5497788 is your game pin. 5497788 is your game pin. So this is called thermodynamics of metallurgy. एक minute. So it all comes down to timing, correct? We can check by reduction potential value also, yes. But तुम्हें reduction potential value नहीं दिए, डेल्टा जी दिए हुए हैं, तो डेल्टा जी के हिसाब से करोगे ना प्रीतेश. अगर तुम्हें ई नॉट वैल्यू दिए होते तो ई नॉट के हिसाब से करते, बट ई नॉट वैल्यूज नहीं दिए हुए हैं, डेल्टा जी दिए हुए हैं, तो डेल्टा जी से करोगे. तो क्वेश्चन के ऊपर डिपेंड करता है ना बेटा. यू कांट जनरलाइज द अप्रोच, राइट? चलो लेट्स स्टार्ट. द अंडरटेकर रिटायर्ड एट सर्वाइवर सीरीज. आई डोंट नो मैन, आई डोंट फॉलो WWE now. I left it way back. So guys, we are starting now. I know, at the rate 1 2 3. Prashant, what happened to you, man? Prashant, what happened to you? Sanat is yet to join. क्या? Join quickly, Sanat. तो इस चैप्टर में मैंने बोला था तुम्हें कि कॉन्सेप्ट्स हैं थोड़े बहुत, मैं सिखा दूंगा. अगेन इस चैप्टर को पूरा अटेंड करो. इस चैप्टर को अटेंड करने से ये नहीं है कि तुम्हारे नोट्स वगैरह रेडी हो जाएंगे. इट्स ओनली थिंग इज जब तुम पढ़ोगे तो तुम्हें थोड़ा इजी लगेगा. यू विल नो सम थिंग्स व्हेन यू रीड. अदरवाइज ब्लाइंडली टेक्स्ट बुक पढ़ोगे तो कुछ समझ में ही नहीं आएगा. ठीक है, तो इसीलिए समवन हैज जॉइंड विल कल खत्म होगा के नाम से क्या? अच्छा, सो कल हो सकता है, मोस्टली खत्म हो जाएगा कल. लाइक वी आर लेफ्ट विद कार्बन का एलिंगम डायग्राम, उसमें 10 मिनट लगेगा. में थोड़े क्वेश्चन 10 मिनट 20 मिनट, और रिफाइनिंग में 20 मिनट 40 मिनट्स. तो 4-5 मेटल के मेटलर्जी करने हैं, तो हम कम से कम कल 2 खत्म कर देंगे. तो मतलब कल मोस्टली हो जाएगा. परसों का आधा क्लास लगेगा, 1.5 क्लास मोर आई थिंक. मे बी कल भी खत्म हो जाए, यू नेवर नो, डिपेंड्स ऑन द स्पीड. चलो लेट्स स्टार्ट. आई होप शरत इज इन. राइट, इजी क्वेश्चंस, बी वेरी फास्ट. वन आउट क्वेश्चंस मे बी पेन. जानकारी, जनरल जानकारी, it should be actually. Yes. Where what is the southernmost capital city? Matlab, this is the city which is the capital of some country, and it lies in the southernmost point in the hemisphere. Southern hemisphere के southernmost point पे city lie करती है among the given options. So it is actually easy question है. Yes, you are wrong, Pranav. It is Wellington. It is Wellington. Well answered, many of you. Because कई लोगों को तो ये लगा होगा बाकी सिटी सुनी ही नहीं है. वेलिंगटन थोड़ा सुना सुना सा लगता है, तो वेलिंगटन होना चाहिए, है ना? इट इज वेलिंगटन, न्यूजीलैंड का कैपिटल है, मतलब न्यूजीलैंड का सिटी है. नीकू अथर @123 गानप्पा समृद्धि टॉप 5. क्या बात है. लेट्स सी द नेक्स्ट वन. वेयर इज द अमेज़न रेन फॉरेस्ट? अगेन इजी क्वेश्चन, ऑप्शंस क्वाइट फनी है. सो अमेज़न रेन फॉरेस्ट इज इन इंडिया, साउथ अमेरिका, नॉर्थ अमेरिका. मोस्टली ऑनलाइन है आजकल, सब कुछ ऑनलाइन है, तो अमेज़न फॉरेस्ट इज आल्सो ऑनलाइन. सो या, your answer is no doubt the correct answer is प्रीतेश का आंसर साउथ अमेरिका. देखो यहाँ पे भी दो लोग हैं जिनके अंदर देशभक्ति टूट टूट के भरी है. पैट्रियटिज्म एट इट्स पीक. दिस इज कॉल्ड पैट्रियटिज्म एट इट्स पीक. कुछ ज्यादा ही देशभक्ति आ गई उनमें. कुछ भी हो जाए, इंडिया इंडिया है ना. विस्मय होगा क्या? हाउ डू यू नो, प्रशांत? And there are some people who have marked D also. See, according to them, Amazon forest lies online. Legend लोग हैं, क्या करोगे? चलो, right. Niku @123, Athar, Ganappa, Samriddhi. The top 5 remain same. Surprising. Third one, identify the true statement. थोड़ा ध्यान से सुनना, बहुत ध्यान से, ठीक है? Arctic is made out of floating ice. Antarctic is made out of floating ice. Both are made out of floating ice. Floating word missing है C statement में. Both are made out of floating ice. There is no such thing called Antarctic in this world. There is no such thing called Antarctic in this world. Yes. Of course, it is Arctic which is made out of floating ice. Antarctic is not just glaciers and floating ice. It is also an island. Antarctic. ठीक है? तो purely वो floating ice नहीं है. It is made of both fixed ice as well as floating ice, both. Whereas since many got it wrong, many will get benefited out of it. So Niku, Ganappa @123, Athar, Ashrit in top 5. That's why the question was tricky. Which of these is not a real country? Again, very easy question. You must have heard about Djibouti. Djibouti is very famous, actually. Djibouti is the only country where most of the countries have their army bases. Now India also has it. So Djibouti is the only one of the country, only country I would say, where most of the country have their army bases. Yes, it is Papua New Guinea. Papua New Guinea is not a country. बाकी सब country हैं. Turkmenistan definitely is a country. Djibouti is also a country. ठीक है? Where is it located? I don't know. Maybe Japan के आसपास. I don't know. I need to check that. But there are some people, like, I can't say anything about them. Niku, Ganappa, Athar, Yalla Habibi, Motu are in top 5. नाम तो अच्छे हैं. हाँ, maybe African coast. Correct. Middle East में क्या? I am not sure about its location. हाँ, it's near Afghanistan area. मतलब अफगानिस्तान भी नहीं. This part. कौन सा कोस्ट है एक, भूल गया मैं. चाइना ने अभी वहां पे वो बनाया था ना. I'll tell you exact location. I forgot. Yeah, this is the easiest one. So last question is a gift for all of you. यस इट इज नाइल, बट इसमें भी कुछ लोग हैं जो थेम्स, यांगजे और अमेजोन को मानते हैं। कुछ लेजेंड लोग इसमें भी हैं, कुछ नहीं कर सकते। या करेक्ट, इट्स नियर सुइज कनाल करेक्ट। यस सो इट्स थर्ड पे यल्ला हबीबी, मिडल ईस्ट से। वी हैव समबडी डूइंग गनप्पा on second, and on top we have Niku. 4 out of 5 correct, all three. Athar and Motu are in top 5. So Yal Habibi is going to do Oasis today for winning it. Yes, it was main river in Egypt, Suez Canal. Chalo. That's all for today. I know रे गणेश नाम से पता लग जाता है। Oh, I don't know. Yalla Habibi is like Middle East word है वो। नाम मतलब मीनिंग तो मुझे भी नहीं पता। यल्ला हबीबी का मतलब क्या है? टेक केयर गणेश। चलो, take care all of you, have a good day ahead and may God bless you all. कल के दो, यस चेतन, यस चेतन, तो कल के दो क्लासेस और अटेंड कर लो, बाकी इज योर विश। ठीक है, दिसंबर से विल स्टार्ट फर्स्ट ईयर रिवीजन। चलो, टेक केयर ऑल ऑफ यू, हैव अ गुड डे अहेड। अरे अंकिता, यू आर देयर टुडे क्या? चलो, टेक केयर अंकिता, हैव अ गुड डे।